Hi, I'm Jichu, founder of Wheeler, and we have a vision to better people, better businesses. The goal of this podcast is to help people become an MVP, which means to be a better version of yourself. Now, today I've got a very interesting guest here today with me. His name is Stephen. He's the founder of Next Energy in the solar and energy sector. He's a good friend of mine, great guy. He's married already, got kids, basically a wonderful human being. I'm so honored to have him on the show today. Stephen,
Yeah,
welcome to today's show.
yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, first question
Yeah.
is that, Next Energy. I'm sure our audience will be wondering, why did you call it Next?
The very quick story for that, because it's a very long story. Very quick story is that we just wanted to be the next big thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. In fact, if I can turn my shirt around, it's written right behind my shirt here. It says, "We are the next big thing."
Wow, that's a wonderful story. So, definitely, I think you guys are becoming the next big thing for sure.
Slowly but surely.
And today's topic, actually, what I really want to discuss with you, because you're in such a rapidly growing industry, you're growing so fast, and so the topic today is we want to talk about the importance of training, because I run a training business, so I
Yep.
want to know. I think our audience also will want to know how important it is to have training in a rapidly growing business lah. So the first question I have for you, right, is that I know because I've known you for years.
Yes,
Your
and it's actually
business-
very weird hearing you introduce me earlier. All the kind words coming from one of my best friends, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Outside, I will talk about you very differently. But anyway, now, so you've grown tremendously. I think when I knew you, your team was still relatively small.
it was
I think
five
even
of us, maybe.
five, less than 10 people. I think in the last 1 year, you've grown from like what? I think you had like 20 people, roughly about 20 people just about a year ago. Now your company is already at about 50. And I remember you told me before, I think by end of this year, you could be closer to like 100.
Yeah.
I think that's just really amazing. So first question that I think our audience want to know, I want to know is how do you keep this company that's growing so rapidly moving in the same direction that you want them to go?
I guess first of all, I never envisioned the company to be so big as well. But of course, opportunities came, and so we just got to take it. Yeah. And I guess the first place to start, right, to really make sure that the company is aligned, is just gotta hire right from the start. So we've got a very how should I say this? We've got a very peculiar way of hiring people.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Peculiar. I like that word. So how peculiar?
How
is that?
peculiar? Okay. Number one, at the start of the company, right? All hires actually go through me. Yeah, I really spend time to hire everyone. I think I heard this quote from, perhaps I think it was the LinkedIn founder who said that uh, if you are if you own a business and you're not spending 50% of your time hiring, you're doing something wrong.
Wow.
At least 50% of your time hiring, you're doing something wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, and that really, really struck a chord in me because at that time I wasn't really spending 50% of my time because when we start a new business, we're busy going to ground and just doing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I heard that, I thought, that makes so much sense. I need to build my team, to build my business, and so then I really spent a lot of time hiring people. And when we started, I don't know how to hire, don't know how to interview people. But how do you interview people, right? And of course, you go online, you try to read up, try to learn, and then we found our ways of doing it. And somehow, I don't know why, but maybe because the way we interview people, we don't really focus on skills. We just focus on hiring really, really awesome people.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So
somehow
when you say awesome people, can I understand it by saying you're hiring the right attitude?
right attitude. We focus on the attitude, the character first. So I tend to ask a lot of personal questions, I'll ask about their parents, I'll ask about their brothers and sisters, and some of them actually really taken aback. Why are you asking me about my father and what he do?
But that helps you find the right people
Yeah.
to come into your company, especially the early stages of your business, like you said, because you were the one interviewing, you were the one finding the right people. Now, but as the company grows, how do you ensure that practice keeps going on, like those peculiar way that you interview is being practiced?
So right now, of course, I've got a HR team,
Mm-hmm.
and I've imparted my ways of interviewing people into my HR team, and they're doing the interviewing now. And the end of the process, of course, it still comes to me. So yeah, my HR team actually now does a really good job on making sure we find the right people.
Great. So what I hear is first step is hire right. Okay,
Correct,
hire the
hire
right
right.
people.
Yeah.
So how else do you get the company moving in the right direction?
Okay, the next thing that I would say is really important, okay, is having a very clear vision, mission, core values, purpose.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay, so four big words there: vision, mission,
Core values,
and purpose. What's the difference between? I mean, I often hear people say different versions of it. So maybe what's your version?
I agree with you lah, because actually, like, early on, let's say in my early days of my career, when I was still working for another company, they usually plaster all these things on the wall, right? And then someone says, it's just words on the wall.
Words on the wall,
just words on the wall, right? Then you see, so some quite cringy also lah, for some companies, yeah. But after running my business for a few years, I realized, wow, it's so important, It's so important, this vision, mission, core values, and purpose. And the problem with this is that when you try to understand what it is, there's so many different definitions for it. The Americans would say mission is more important, so mission is first.
Yeah.
But I think Asians, we tend to put vision first. And so when I was trying to understand it, I was like, wow, what's this? And it's so hard to come up with our vision, mission, core values, purpose, that I made my own definition of what it is. Okay. So vision, of course, is this big idea, big thing where you feel like you can reach, but you will never reach it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's vision for me. Okay. Mission is what you're gonna do every day to achieve that. Right. What we're gonna do every day to achieve that big
thing,
vision that you have. Yeah. Core values, of course, is the
can I say the non-negotiables?
The non-negotiables, but of course, what I believe is, I can't remember who came up with this line.
Guidelines or guardrails, how people should behave and what they should do on a daily basis.
It's more than that for me. It's more than that, because for me, values drives decisions. The decisions you make drives behaviors.
Yeah.
And your behaviors just drive your culture.
Drive the results.
Drive the culture. Yeah. So core values, very, very important for us, and purpose.
Yeah. So I want to know, like, so what's the difference between core values
and purpose? Yeah. Purpose is what we do for ourselves. So that's how I define it. What we're gonna do for ourselves in the company. Okay. And so if I just quickly go through my company's one, it might take a long time for me to go through, because it's
sure
a whole 1 hour town hall to go through.
But I'm sure the viewers are interested to know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it starts with purpose. So our purpose in Next Energy is we strive to be powerful every day.
Wow. What a nice purpose.
Okay. It's a little wordplay between just doing everything right every day, just being powerful every day. At the same time, because we're in the energy sector, so we want to be powerful lah. Yeah. Powerful lah. Yeah. Play of words there.
Oh,
yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. So what I hear so far is you said to keep everyone in the right direction. Of course, you have. You need to hire the right people. Yeah. Then you need to have very strong vision, mission, core values, and purpose to sort of set the frame for people to know how they should behave on a daily basis and where we're moving. I think the next question I really want to ask, right, is, I guess, how do you ensure that it's being practiced? I think, like you said earlier, it's words on the wall. It's just something beautifully designed, printed on the wall. Sometimes I see companies spend a lot of money just decorating the office to have all of those words.
Yeah.
But how do you turn it into practice? I think then that's where I kind of want to ask about the training function that happens within the company. Because I think a lot of it, in my opinion, also is a lot to do with communication. There's a lot of that passing down that information, like what you said just now, how you pass down your skill of hiring, interviewing down to your HR team. So I believe having vision, mission, and all these very nice words like what you mentioned just now with the purpose, I'm sure there's some training function that goes on in the company that actually helps you cascade down. Could you share a bit about that?
So training function to really impart all these things to my staff. Uh, uh, not a training function per se, but I would say is how, number one, how us as founders we have to behave. We have to really portray, your purpose, your core values, your mission, and your vision.
So you have to be the role model of it first, lah.
You have to be that lah. You cannot say
Yeah.
you are A and then you pretend to be B.
I think that's a very good lesson for all those
Yeah.
out there who are thinking of starting their own business or they're running a business themselves. I think the first tip there is to be a role model.
Yeah. To be a role model. What we did intensively, is to have our town hall. Okay. And not just a town hall, but a town hall every month.
Nice.
Yeah. Because our company was growing so fast that I think typically if you hear a company when they have town halls, maybe once a year.
Yeah. Usually, maybe
some twice a year.
Yeah.
Once every quarter. That's maybe the most often.
Yeah.
But because we're growing so fast, I decided, guys, we need to really impart this to everyone. We need to really make sure everyone is aligned properly. And so we decided to have our town hall every month. And it was quite a challenge for me to actually have 12 different variations of explaining the core values and vision and mission to everyone, every month, just keeping it fresh for everyone. But I think we achieved what we wanted to do because now I think our staff also, they close their eyes or in their sleep also, they still dream of like our core values, which is heart, humility, expertise, accountability, remarkable, and trustworthiness.
Wow.
Right? It spells out heart. So they're like, come, we got to do everything with heart. Put in your heart. Where's your heart? That's how we really make sure those four things are not just words, but actually something everybody practices in Next Energy.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, even though you say that there is no training function per se, but it does sound like you do have a structured way to keep passing down that information. I think that's actually something important.
Yeah.
Now, apart from that, any other things that you do to like sort of like related to training with regards to your people to ensure that they do what they're supposed to do in that sense?
I think does team building count as training function?
Yeah.
So we have our team building once a year. Okay, so that's a big retreat. We go somewhere. I think last year we went to Redang and we had a great time there. And we also have our incentive trips. And in these trips also we impart some of our those four items to everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so team building is also another good thing because I think it's also aligning all their mindset, the vision, mission, and everything as well, right? Apart from just having games, it's also getting people to work together better. Now, any other training approaches that you have that is within the company, or maybe even sometimes you might get some external help or internal help. What do you do to train up your people in terms of their capabilities as well?
Typically, external training, right? We would get more for technical things, like how to install certain solar equipments and things like that. So that would be external. Internal, we have a trainer who's our friend as well, Joel. So he does most of the internal training, and that's mainly soft skills, communication, leadership. And communication is a big thing in our company because you can be the best doctor in the world, but if you don't know how to talk, nobody's gonna understand you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So coming to
Ah,
that, right?
yeah.
Interesting. Because, just now when you say externally, of course, you get a lot of technical skills for your people. I think it's very hard to do it internally because you do need that external help to bring in those expertise, the technical side of it, to upgrade the knowledge and the capabilities of your people, of course. But soft skills, you mentioned that because you have a really good partner
Yeah.
there internally to help you drive all the soft skills. I mean, he's a world class soft skills trainer himself because I know him as
Okay.
well.
Yeah.
But well, imagine if a company doesn't have someone like him. So,
Then very tough, very tough. That's why I'm so fortunate to have him around.
mhm.
And what we typically do, I hope my staff not listening to this, okay? But if we identify that there's any gaps or any shortcoming of any of our staff,
Mm.
instead of having a chat, the first thing we do is we run a training first.
Wow.
Yeah, we run a training and see whether that person gets it or not. And if he gets it, then problem solved, move on.
So what you're saying is instead of for example, if I see, oh, you got a time management issue,
Yeah.
instead of saying, hey, come sit down, let me tell you, you got a time management issue.
Yeah.
We
And then
do.
the person will be like, I got what?
What,
No, when?
when do I have a time? Okay, so instead of doing that, what you're saying is that you would then say, oh, let's arrange a training this week. We're going to do time management workshop, and then
Yes.
like, oh yeah, come, you need to come.
Yes, correct. And then maybe like, tell us as an example when you're early, purposely at that person.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so then be like,
Okay.
then be thinking, when? Then maybe then he'll realize actually I'm always constantly late.
Oh, so at the
Yeah.
end of the workshop, do you make them hold a certificate to say that I have now completed time management workshop, so I will not be late again?
Actually, that's a great idea. We will start doing that.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so just now, then the other thing that you mentioned, because you said being doctors, you could be very good at your job as a doctor, but maybe the soft skill not. So I often hear this, right? People say train technical skills first or train soft skill first. Like, which one is which? In fact, then how do we define what is technical, what is soft?
Mm.
And how do you balance that? Or which one is more important in your opinion?
Soft skills. I mean, actually, if you ask me, both also important. Technical skills, soft skills. But I think for me, soft skills edges it a little bit because, like I said, if you can be the best doctor in the world, but if you don't know how to talk properly, then nobody gets you also. So
Yeah.
I think that is really important, especially for founders. Yeah, because you can have all the ideas of how you want to run your business and where you want to bring your business to and the strategies that you want to take. Um, and the way you communicate them to your partners, to your managers, to your execs, and maybe to those on ground, you can't be communicate. You can't be communicating to them the same way, right? So you gotta maybe simplify it a little bit for the ones who maybe are not so business adept. But of course, for your partners, then you can be a little bit more technical. And so I guess the saying goes, uh, communication is not what you say,
Mm.
but it's what people understand from you, what people hear from you. Yeah.
When we talk about soft skills in communication,
Yeah.
it's really down to how you understand it. That's more important. And I think that's what you're saying, right? It's not about how you say it,
Yeah.
it's how the other person
Yeah.
understands it
Like if I
that is
say
important.
2 days from now, you get it right.
Yeah.
If I say tomorrow, you get it or not.
Okay, that's a very good example as well. But speaking of that, then it reminds me of the way that I would also look at soft skills. It's exactly what you said. One, I think the core of it is communication.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about soft skills, you can have all the, let's say if someone technical skills wise is 10 out of 10, the most brilliant in the market you can ever find. But if that person's soft skill level is at 5 out of 10,
Let's extreme it lah. 2 lah.
2 out of 10,
Let's
okay?
extreme it lah. Easier.
And I just think that what happens is, it's not that the person cannot do the job,
Yeah.
cannot do the work, but it's that people will perceive this person as a level 2.
Yeah.
Because of the way you're communicating, the
Correct.
way you're talking, the way you're presenting yourself just feels like you're not that good.
Yeah.
Right? But of course, I think if we flip it the other way around, can you imagine if we have someone who's got 10 out of 10 soft skills, brilliant communicator, knows how to speak. Oh, this person will speak this way, make them, whatever. But technical skills wise, 2 out of 10.
Always just goreng only lah, right?
Can or not?
Uh,
Which one would you prefer?
okay, that one too extreme already. Okay, we gotta bring the two technical one technical number two to maybe five. Two, I think I cannot lah.
Cannot.
Cannot lah.
Okay. You won't even hire in the first
I
place.
wouldn't even hire in the first place. But if it's five,
Can still work on it.
can still work on it lah. Can still work on it with 10 communication.
Yeah.
I think not just communication, soft skills so that
Yeah,
includes everything else like
Yeah.
teamwork, leadership,
Yeah.
all these other
All
things.
these soft
Then
skills,
of course, definitely the soft skills 10 one instead of a technical 10
you pick the one with the soft skill 10 one because technical skill easier to train. Is that how you see it?
Yeah. And especially in our solar industry, because if I were to hire, let's say, an engineer from one of the bigger solar companies over, 50% of the things they do there and my company will be different. Because the solar industry is still so new, right?
So in that sense, technically they could be 10 out of 10 that side, but when it comes to your company,
it's not
they
good
could
enough.
just be 5 out of 10
because we got
only.
such high standards, right, in X Energy. So
yeah,
sometimes it's different, it's totally different. And so we got to retrain them all over again. And training just takes a bit of time. You just need to show, train, and then they'll get it. The soft skills, I think sometimes a bit tough. You know, if you're somebody who's messy, you tend to always be messy. If you're somebody who's always late, you tend to always be late. Very hard to change. Very hard to change in terms of soft skills.
Well, then I can see why you've invested so much into the soft skills by bringing in the right partner, someone who's there to constantly do all the alignment and helping your team grow, right? In that sense, because like you say, right? Because technical, it's something that if you have the right soft skills already, technical, it's just a matter of picking it up, learning it. It's usually not that hard because you're an expert in that field. But soft skills, do you have any story in the company where someone with very good technical skills but soft skills, it took you some time to work on?
I can think of 2 or 3.
So how did you overcome that?
How did we overcome? We gotta let them go.
Wow.
No, but you know what? We to be fair, we try because what we do at Next Energy is we especially for me, I always number one, the first and foremost thing is I always try to identify their strengths, and put them at where they work best. So anybody who joins my company, if they let's say they join as sales, but then in the end we say, hey, this person very good at doing online content and all these things. Then we say, hey, why not you try doing some
help them
go and do some branding marketing work, do some online content for us, or let's say if you're an engineer and then suddenly I say, hey, this person can talk and can sell. Why not you try doing some sales, and really put them in their right position.
Yeah. Really make use of their skills and their talents as well.
Yeah. So sometimes I'm guilty of you know the saying, hire fast, fire even faster. Yeah. So sometimes I'm guilty of firing a bit too slow.
Okay.
A bit too slow because we try to really make sure we do all we can
but I think that's a really responsible thing to do, I think, as a company, because then you don't want to just say, oh, I hire, then I realize, hey, cannot, then faster go.
Yeah.
But instead, hire, whether right or wrong, we do the best. So you say you do the best you can, train them, and you have an in-house great world-class trainer to do the soft skills training to make sure that you help them build that up. But if they really, really can't, maybe it's better that they go somewhere else where their talents are better suited.
Yeah. But also because we spend so much time hiring. We spend so much time finding the right person. So sometimes a bit sayang, if we let them go too easily. So we always try to do what we can to see how we can, continue working together.
But there's this interesting thing people always say, right? You spend so much effort, train, pour your heart and soul. I mean, your core values, the heart there. You pour your heart and soul to try and help them become better. And then after that, they still cannot. And then after that, they leave. So there are a lot of business owners who have said this to me before, right? Or people who have said, then what's the point of training? We do all that, then they leave anyway, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So how?
Correct, right?
How?
But then
I should ask you this question.
But the fun question to ask is, imagine if you don't spend your time and effort training and they stay.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah,
how
that's the alternative, right?
that's the alternative,
Yeah.
right? I mean, imagine if really someone lack of soft skills, unable to deliver certain things, but you keep them because you didn't train them, so you kind of feel like you didn't really have the option to fire them because you didn't really put in the effort
Mm.
to help them. Then I think that would be quite devastating for the business, right?
I guess Richard Branson said it like the best. I hope I don't botch this line again. Okay, but he's saying treat them so well that they don't want to leave or something like that. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's what we do also lah in Next Energy. I think if you see the people that we have, I mean when we went for our first team building last year
Mm-hmm.
in Redang, they
Mm-hmm.
absolutely blew my mind. How passionate they were and how committed they were to the company.
Can you imagine what if in your company right now you stop all training function? I mean, even though you said just now you don't really have a training function per se, but if you ask me, right, if I look at how you structure your town hall, you have your team buildings, you have a soft skill trainers in-house, you send people for external technical training, that is the training function of a company. You have a specific purpose of using training to upskill your people, upgrade them so that they perform better, right? One thought experiment just for fun. What if you take that all away right now? What will it do to your business?
In the short term, nothing. But I think in the midterm, then you see some changes, and long term, you really won't recognize your company anymore, lah. You know, I think it's the same like working out. You know,
Uh-huh.
if you've
Yeah,
got
yeah,
if
yeah,
you got a good body,
yeah,
if you're muscular,
yeah.
you skip one day, it's not
It's not a
gonna
big deal,
you
lah.
suddenly won't look like you're skinny, lah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But I think if you skip like half a year,
Mm.
then you say, why your used to be rock hard, now it's a bit flabby.
If-
You know, when you go through a bumps, you can see it shaking a little bit. Yeah. And I think if a year of not working out, then you can really see the difference. And I think therein lies this belief that we have in Next Energy where we try not to have a 0 day.
Mm.
Yeah. Because let's say you skip one day,
Yeah,
yeah, and you lose like 50%.
yeah.
Yeah. To gain back that 50%, you actually have to double your
You
work,
work
double
work
the
two
work
days to get
to
back
get
that
back to
to that
that
50%.
get back that 50% that you
Yeah,
lost, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Um, so if you ask me, training, what was your question again? If we
If you just stop all that, all
if we
those
stop it,
efforts of training function,
it's a
yeah.
bit like giving up, isn't it? If you just stop it.
But I hear a lot companies say, training, it's okay lah. We can live without it.
Yeah.
We just focus on the business. Just get more sales, get more business first. We worry about that later.
And what happens to a company after that?
Okay lah. Some better not. I better not
Better
say
not
lah.
say.
I better
Okay,
not
okay,
say
okay.
lah. But
Yeah.
but I mean that's why I wanted to invite you on this podcast because how important is that? I think you pointed out something very interesting. Is that I like what you say. Immediately, nothing. That means immediately you won't see any difference. It will just things will just go on because sales will still come in, customers will still come in. You still have your jobs, your projects. You will just keep going. But in the long run, I like what you say. You don't even recognize your business after that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
Wow.
that's why I say it's like giving up lah. But it won't suddenly happen.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a slow rot, if
It's
you
a
ask me.
slow rot.
Yeah.
Wow. Like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so one last question I have for you.
So fast, last one.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
aiyo.
Because we're having such a good time, we've been talking about your business
Yeah.
and everything, and I love it that you said as the founder of the business, you're the driver of it. You have to be the role model to live all the core values, the vision, mission, and everything, the
Yeah.
purpose. But also at the same time, because for me, the purpose of training ultimately is to be an MVP, most valuable person. Of course, for me, it's an acronym for taking care of your mental action, your verbal action, and your physical action. Just knowing where you're heading, what you're doing,
Yeah.
to be the best version of yourselves every day as best as you can, right?
Mm.
Now, so my question for you would be, how do you keep up being an MVP for yourself? What do you do? I'm
Wow.
sure the viewers would be interested to know. You're so busy with rapidly growing business, so many things going on. How do you keep up being an MVP yourself?
Being a good friend of mine, you know some stuff that I'm going through. So this question that you're throwing at me actually really strikes a chord in me lah, something very deep. And it's very important to what do you say? Keep the energy. What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Keep being the
keep
MVP.
the MVP lah.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
being the MVP, most valuable person lah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think for the past year or so, I've been like on this journey of trying to make sure I keep myself strong, healthy, keep my energy level up, because if the energy level is down, then that's where your decisions will lari, and you become moody and things like that, right? So what I tend to do, what I started to do actually maybe since 2025, early 2025, is to wake up earlier,
Mhm.
because there's no other time to do so, right? So I have to wake up earlier, um, and spend a little bit of time meditating. Yeah, just a 10-minute meditation. You can find it on YouTube. You can, find it on Spotify. Very easy. Just play it. Just listen to it. Get a bit of peace
Right.
in your life in the morning. And then after that, maybe spend about 30 minutes just doing some sort of exercise, just moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't the healthiest person, 3 years ago. Yeah. And when I started exercising early last year, uh, I could only do like 10 push-ups. And then after that,
I'm sure now you.
the hand shaking
Yeah.
already,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Guess what I did this morning?
100.
100, yes.
Wow.
In how many sets?
Well, I would guess 4.
You look down on me.
Oish.
Today, just this morning, the first time ever in my life, I managed to do 100 push-ups in 2 sets. So 50
Wow,
50. Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so 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 that's what I do every morning. Just before I start the day, maybe about 1 hour of me time. Me time
Yeah.
before the world starts. Just have
Okay.
time for myself. Yeah.
Well, Steven, I love this. I love what you're saying. As a business owner, driving a business, you have all the things. You have a blueprint laid out for your company. You have, certain approaches that you have to make sure that things are moving. But more importantly, you don't just focus on that. You also focus on yourself being better
Mm,
version of yourself, so that you keep up the energy, because your business is called Next Energy. If you yourself don't have the energy,
mm.
how to power up the energy of your
Oh, such a
business?
good way to put it.
Wow. Yeah,
Walao.
yeah. Okay, so one last thing.
Ah,
So before we close,
okay.
what I'd like you to do on this show is to ask if there's something that you can ask our audience to share with us in the comments, to help them think about how they can grow as a person
Mm.
to be a better version of themselves. What would that be, and how would you want? What's the question that you want to ask?
So for me, when you say growth, I guess the first thing that comes into my head is staying humble.
Mm,
Staying humble, find some humility in life, and just being very humble. Because if you're not humble, then how are you gonna grow, right? So I guess the question for your viewers would be how how do you find some humility? I guess how do you stay humble in life?
mm,
Because I think there's a saying that goes as the I'm gonna botch this line again. As the knowledge, as the island of your knowledge grows, the shore of your ignorance grows as well, grows bigger as
wow.
well, right? So if you're not humble enough, then that's where you tend to just be a bit more egoistic. You think you know everything, and then you're not going to learn. So I guess what I want to ask your viewers is, um, how do you stay humble?
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now, so if any of our viewers here want to know more about what Stephen does, we'll leave a link in the description below so that you can check out Next Energy. Also, at the same time, if you're ever curious about what sort of soft skills you need to improve in order for you to further your career, we also have a MVP career audit assessment tool that we'll leave in the link below as well. Yeah. Now, last but not least, thanks very much,
Thank you, thank
Stephen,
you,
for
thank
being
you.
here with me.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and most important thing we want to tell all our viewers is that to keep learning because learners will always earn more. Thank you.